Hey guys, welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, I wanted to check out Khun Ran. Now, with this guy, I just want to look at his skills at maxed out because these maxed out multipliers are actually quite insane in my opinion. And take a look at the way he works. I picked up the copy for 3,000 diamonds out of the shop, and I've done a little bit of testing. He's only just dropped, so if you're looking for a should you pull, I would still say wait. But I just wanted to go through his kit and talk about it because his multipliers are honestly insane compared to what we've seen in the game so far, and I didn't expect them to go this high. So I want to take a look at that and take a look at him at one copy, check his survivability as like a pseudo tank and stuff like that, and also take a look at his exclusive equipment because that is also quite nice. So let's jump into the skills. This is the ultimate, and this blows my mind. Khun Ran throws his sword thingy, his lightning sword, whatever you want to call it, at the enemy, instantly destroying barriers and dealing 1200% of his attack as damage, shocking them for 4 seconds. Shocked enemies receive 400% of his attack as damage every second. So that's 4 seconds of 400% plus 1200%. The 4 seconds, that 816. So we're looking at 2800% multiplier of attack in a 4 second span on this ultimate. That is a huge multiplier. What is, okay. Let's go over here and let's check what EHY is at max. 280% each second for 7 seconds. If that was, dude, let me just get my calculator out because, you know, my brain's cooked. It is what it is. I'm getting old, guys, okay? So 280 times 7 equals, that's 1960. He's 2800. Hers is obviously AoE, which makes her, which once again, I'm not trying to say he's better than her, but just so you get an idea of the damage coming out of this thing. Obviously she enhances her attack when she's using her exclusive equipment and also increases that multiplier. So we do have those things to consider, but just at base, it is a single target attack, but it's a pretty high multiplier when you look at it. So let's jump into the rest of them. Khun Ran destroys the enemy, dashes to the enemy with the highest attack and instantly destroys the barrier, dealing 620% of his attack as damage, knocking them back. He then jumps towards the same target and deals 620% of his attack as additional damage. Khun Ran becomes immune to status effects while using this skill. So that's a 1240% multiplier on just an active skill, not the ultimate. That is pretty decent as well. Then we go to this one. Khun Ran summons a thunderstorm that lasts for 8 seconds. Khun Ran, while he is inside the thunderstorm, he conceals himself, and this conceal, it does, like, I couldn't see it when we fought him as an enemy, but it does make him invisible, similar to what Evan applies, similar to what Kisaya does. So he does go invisible in that cloud. So concealing himself, and for 8 seconds invisible, not too bad. Khun Ran's critical hit rate and critical damage each increase by 80% when attacking enemies inside the thunderstorm. Not too bad as well. Obviously we don't have any raw damage out of this one, but we do get that crit damage buff, which is important. We get some survival as well out of it. So this one, Khun Ran deals 1.5 times damage to barriers with basic attacks. When Khun Ran's HP drops below 40%, this can go up to 50% with exclusive equipment. He removes status effects from himself, swallows a lightning pill, limit 1, so you can only use this once per battle. He enters a lightning pill state for 15 seconds, which can go up to 20 seconds with exclusive equipment, decreasing the damage taken by 70%, which can go up to 90% with exclusive equipment, and increases his swiftness by 120. That is a big swiftness increase. In addition, while Lightning Pill is active, his skills will always be critical hits. When the state ends, he becomes exhausted and his attack is reduced by 10% for 10 seconds. Honestly, this doesn't really matter because if you haven't killed anything by this time, you're pretty much screwed unless it's a 1v1, then you've got a chance because you've got the cloud to conceal yourself. But honestly, that is a pretty decent kit. So let's take a look at the exclusive equipment, and this one's really nice. The thing I love about this is level 1 gets an additional 20%. The damage taken reduced by an additional 20%. Now, I'm rating this as 20% being going from 70% up to 90%. However, if it's 20% of the 70%, that would then be 14% and only bring it to 84%. I don't know how that's calculated, but I'm pretty sure that drags it up to a 90% damage mitigation, which is really strong. Now, as a low-leveled one copy tank, it's not as effective, and I'll show you guys that in a sec. But as a carry DPS, I think it's quite potent. The attack debuff duration is decreased by 5 seconds when his lightning pill state ends. Honestly, this doesn't really matter. I don't really care about this one. The duration of the lightning pill state increases by 5 seconds, so he does get 20 seconds to try and nuke the enemy team with his guaranteed crits and his 120 extra haste, or what do they call it, swiftness. And then the final one, lightning pill activation condition changes, activating when his HP drops below 50%, which is quite nice. Get it earlier, get that damage mitigation up. Now, I could see some situations in which this is a detriment to him, because maybe you want to get him concealed with his skill, with this skill before he procs it. So maybe activating at 50% will mean he procs it before he activates this skill in some situations, which could be a negative to him. It's annoying when I think of, you know, upgrades as possibly being a negative on a character, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But in general, like, I think his kit is really solid. Now, once again, I wouldn't rush into summoning him. I've got to do more testing. I may do some summons. I'm not too sure. I'm going to speak to other people who build him once they build him and see their thoughts. I'm going to do some testing over in the arena simulation, but like I said, I've said this many times before, arena simulation is really hard to simulate exactly what's going on. So let's jump over here, let's jump into adventure, and let's take a look at him over in this team. Now, what I've done here is, unfortunately, I'll skip through the other battles, but you can see here, I've unlocked his exclusive equipment. I've got him at full rapport, except for the frame, so he's got the evasion and accuracy. He's on my Kaseya's gear, so it's not on color, and I've got him in the 211 slot. Then I'll take him off of Kaseya's gear and put him on some off pieces of gear, and then take him into a low level slot and see what he can do there. But this one, you know, we're just under that 3x deficit at this point. Once again, we've only got one copy of him and only just unlocked the exclusive equipment. So I'll jump in, I'm going to cut, and I'll come back at his fight. Okay, we're just coming into his fight now. So I'm going to slow it down when we jump in, and we'll take a look at his sort of survival style. So he's coming in the middle, so he's taken some heat. As you can see, he's dropped below 40 now, but now the damage really slows down. Now he's concealed, so no one's attacking him. Obviously, that can be a detriment if he's trying to be a carry, but you can see that's his sort of survival. It does take them a while to kill him, but that is with gear. That is him in the carry spot, but that is only at one copy. So that's what you can sort of see. Now, I forgot to slow that down when we jumped in, but let's go ahead. Let's jump in again, and let's go ahead and do him at the low level slot. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Let's put Kaseya there. Let's do that. And then we'll swap over his gear back over here. Just so we can get a look at him as that one copy investment. Now, I think he's going to be about as effective, probably almost maybe less effective than a Vesper in this position, just because he doesn't have that cheat death tied into it that I've seen. Actually, I haven't looked too hard. Maybe it does have the cheat death effect where I'm going to have to look at it. We'll look at this again, because if his health actually pauses at that 40% and then gets the damage mitigation, I don't know if he can get chunked from 52% all the way to 0, or if you can get chunked from at base it's 40%. So if you can get chunked from 41% straight down to, I don't know, what numbers are we talking about? I can't even remember, like 20% or something like that. So let's see if we can slow it down. So there he is. He takes the damage. It does look like the damage pauses, and he does take a little bit of heat. He does get a shield there because of my team. So that does affect, and then he does go invisible. Okay, so as I was editing, I was looking back on that footage, and I just wanted to highlight this to show you guys how long he actually survives there in that pseudo tank position. I actually think he's going to be a decent, you know, third option for a stall tank. Probably based on these numbers, maybe even better than a Vesper. We'll have to see exactly, because sometimes Vesper doesn't proc the cheat death, but it looks like he does have a cheat death tied into his kit, which is really nice. So it sort of pauses his health at that 40%. Now, obviously, if you get it to 50%, you know, you could get a bit more. But basically, what we're looking at is how long until he goes invisible, because once he goes invisible, if you're using him as a tank, he's no longer useful in that tank role. So let's have a look at the time we get out of him. So you can see he runs in here. He's still there. He's still there. You can see he's still attacking. He's still got a tiny bit of health there. He then just grabs a shield from, it was probably from Khun. So that's basically with that mitigation level of 90%, I'm pretty sure it is, because we do have the whatchamacallit, the unlocked exclusive equipment. Against this type of deficit, which is like a 3 and a bit X deficit, he got, if we look at the time is at 24 seconds. So he got about 6 seconds of stall out of that, which isn't too bad. That was until he got a shield. So depending on the supports, depending on your gear levels on him, depending on investment and stuff like that, he could get longer. But this is looking at him as a low-leveled, just stall tank, no dupes, no investment, poor gear, low level, which is quite reasonable in my opinion. Now, obviously, other enemies are probably going to come with more heat. He might die quicker, but with that damage mitigation, he does fill that role not too bad. So once again, I just wanted to highlight that and take a look at it. You see here now he goes invisible and it's sort of game over. But I thought that was quite reasonable, and I just wanted to highlight that quickly. So I think if he is going to be a DPS, I add like a carry DPS, I don't think he functions like a Hats or a Huarian who will be able to, you know, tank the damage for their team once the main tank dies, because of the way he functions and the way he goes invisible, kind of similar to Kaseya. So I don't think he's like that hyper carry target, but, you know, similar to Kaseya, he could probably still get the job done when the rest of your team is dead, depending on how it works. So I think he's one of those ones where you're going to have another unit built with him to tank out. So that's my early thoughts on him. Once again, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. I will research more, try and find out what people are thinking who have pulled for him and see the viability. But damn, those multipliers are quite nice. His exclusive equipment is nice for the survival side as well. So I think he looks decent, but I don't think he's going to be on the level of Huarian and Iwa. But once again, I could be wrong, and I will update you guys when I find out more. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.